Alright guys, Stellar Blade has been available on PC on Steam for a few days now, and the results are not shocking at all. If you've been paying attention to any of the discourse online regarding the best top-selling video games, games that people are actually interested in versus what the media wants you to be interested in, it's no shock to anybody who's been paying attention that this game is crushing the Steam charts. Right now you can see on Friday night it's got a current 24-hour peak of 177,000 people, with 106,000 people playing it right now, and this number is only going to increase on a Friday night as the night continues, because a large percentage of the player base of this game is also in China. I believe it's somewhere around 40%, so there's a lot of people around the world playing this game and enjoying it. Of course, this is not a shock either, given the fact that, based on this IGN article, Shift Up, the developers of Stellar Blade, were already expecting this game to crush Steam sales once it launched in 2025, more than what they sold on PS5. Again, basing on what we saw from Black Myth Wukong and other games that were successful ports to Steam, this is not a shock, especially given the fact that now it seems that Sony is starting to remove some of their regional restrictions from Steam, from PC games, which is huge because we've seen this issue with a lot of other companies, a lot of other games like Helldivers 2, Spider-Man 2, games that are region locked due to not having a Sony account available in that country or that region. Well, it seems like they're starting to do away with some of that, which is a great thing for everybody who wants to play games around the world. Of course, Stellar Blade's official account came out yesterday and said, with your incredible support and encouragement, we have reached the #1 spot on Steam's global top sellers. We will continue to do our best moving forward. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. And again, this is a studio. These are developers who genuinely love their fans, and that's something that I think should be rewarded. People should definitely reward this kind of behavior in a market that is oversaturated by people who hate their customers. And articles like this from Vice do not help to fix, player-media relations whatsoever. So from Vice, Stellar Blade PC launch breaks Steam sales records thanks to its quote-unquote thirsty fan base. Now again, I don't think calling anybody names or trying to accuse people of being like pervs or gooners just because they enjoy a certain game is going to help the divide that we have between the media and the gamers, but they don't care at this point. This is because recently we've seen the media exposed trying to defend games like Dragon Age the Veilguard, try to deflect from all the valid criticism about the game with their cringe characters, the non-binary crap, again, the general direction of the game, the story, the companions, all the valid complaints about the game, and pointing at the executives in charge and saying, no, all the problems with this game were coming from the top down. Then, of course, you see the usual suspects, people like Andy Cortez, coming out saying, despite all these problems, I still love Dragon Age the Veilguard. I still think it's way overhated for its writing, even from the quote-unquote non-bigots. Really enjoyed every squad mate loyalty mission, and the ending was amazing. Then, of course, you have Daniel Friedman responding, saying despite all the BioWare higher-ups that he talked to, he intentionally missed the story. This game failed because it was defined in the minds of its audience by YouTubers making fun of its quests about pronouns. This is the game that proved that approval from Asmongold matters more than approval from IGN for launching a successful game. Now, I'm not going to completely disagree with what he said there. I do think Asmongold has a more profound impact or influence than IGN, but that's not saying much. IGN's kind of a joke at this point. Then you had Paul Tassi quote tweeting it saying, it's easy to push back on this, but when the woke debate consumes literally an entire online marketing campaign that can in fact be damaging, and yes, Asmongold trashing something does actually matter now, like it or not. Not that you should cater to that, but it's where we are. Of course, as Zach responded, Asmongold says, while I'm sure making videos is a rallying point, the reality is that most people consume content that reinforces what they already believe. There are people who adamantly defend woke games, but no one watches them because those ideas and viewpoints are inherently unpopular, and that's exactly what it is. That's exactly why Stellar Blade is doing well. But Paul's not going to understand this because, last year he wrote this article saying, Stellar Blade is now the highest user-scored PS5 game ever, which is a bit excessive. See, again, it goes back to this divide we have between the media and the gamers not understanding each other, or at least not being able to see eye to eye, because they are ideologically different. They are driven by different things. Of course, Jay Viper points out, why is Paul Tassi like this, where he's, looking away from Stellar Blade from Eve, but he's, smiling at Tosh over here from, the non-binary Kunari from Dragon Age the Veilguard. But it gets better, because now we have an even better example of this, with articles like this from PC Gamer saying, Gooner Game of the Year, Stellar Blade's mods are 41% smut, ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. Now, okay, guys, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I don't need all these mods. I don't tend to even play games that are specifically like explicit games. I just don't. It's not something that I look for in my games. Do I care if the characters are attractive? Absolutely not. That's perfect. That's great. Do I care if they're scantily clad? No, that's perfectly fine. If they look great, that's awesome. Whatever. Is it something that I need in my games? No, but I'd rather have that than some ugly ass, man jaw chinned chick, some Abby from Last of Us Part 2. That being said, a lot of these media articles always try to crap on the people who are enjoying things and saying basically, you guys are a bunch of pervs and disgusting degenerates for liking this stuff, when the same journalist writes articles like this talking about the bare sex scene from Baldur's Gate 3 being an upward turn in momentum for the game. Same guy who's crapping on gamers who are modding Stellar Blade in whatever way they want, which I'm going to point out is encouraged by the Shift Up CEO who said, I fully back players using mods and want to try exciting ones myself. Let's see who makes the best mod. This guy is encouraging people to mod his game, which is why we're seeing skins like this, which again, like I said, I don't think you have to have things like this for a game to be good. Do I care that it exists? Absolutely not. Does it bother me? Absolutely not. The more the merrier. I'm sorry, guys. Let me fix the video quality there. I know some people are probably going to complain. But again, this doesn't hurt anybody. It's a single-player game. Mod the game however you want. Who cares? Like, genuinely, who cares? But again, this is the stuff the media cries about, while at the same time, Based Player points out very well the amount of hypocrisy that we see on display by these journalists. He said, I asked Grok to compare the number of sex scenes in normal games versus the wildly successful quote-unquote, porn game. Dragon Age the Veilguard has 7. Mass Effect 3 has 6 to 8. Cyberpunk 2077 has 4 to 6. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has 5 to 7. Baldur's Gate 3 has 5 to 7. Dragon Age Inquisition 4 to 6. God of War 2005 2 to 3. Heavy Rain has 1 or 2. And Stellar Blade has exactly 0. Again, it's hypocrisy. They claim that they don't like the Gooner games. They claim they don't like the male gaze. They claim that they don't like anything that objectifies women. But that's not what it's really about. It's about, the right kind of women. They're okay with you objectifying this character here, but not Eve from Stellar Blade. That's 100% exactly what it is. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. I'm going to be playing this game tomorrow night. My daughter's championship is tomorrow. We're going to win the softball tournament, and we are going to come home, get the kids to bed, and I'm going to stream Stellar Blade. So I hope to see some of you guys here. Maybe we'll check out some mods on stream. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.